Hello viewers, in this particular deliberation we are going to see another aspect of library automation, that is beyond the individual library automation, when a group of libraries with their automated library system come together to form a integrated search interface, or popularly this kind of systems are called union catalog. And the modern aspect or the modern concept related to union catalog is the virtual union catalog. Now, the role of the union catalog is to provide the objective alone. It has got many other objectives like deduplication of resources coming from different libraries, grouping of resources on the basis of FRBRized architecture, and most importantly fusing opaque functionalities inside union catalog. For example, in the union catalog I can have search a particular document and not only get the availability of that particular document in a given participating libraries, but also I can see the real time item level information, that whether these copies are available for circulation or not, alongside different other opaque functionalities like hold placement, reservation, and ILS based authentication, so that by utilizing credential of my library system I can enter inside union catalog to see different kind of information related to my patrolship, like fine calculation, books borrowed, search history, then holding details, cancellation of holds, and so on. So, modern views of union catalog is basically surrounding with two important concepts. One is the opaque functionalities, everything I can do inside my library opaque, that I can do inside a union catalog. And second important concept is basically the merging of resources through deduplication and FRBRized grouping, that is different expression manifestations related to a particular work must be grouped together inside union catalog. So, let us see that what is this aspect of library automation, how we are moving from in individual library opaque towards a national level or regional level union catalog, which are called virtual union catalogs. So, let us start. So, as you can see from the slide title that it is virtual union catalog scenario, that we will be discussing the present scenario in our country as well as at the global level, different kind of standards where ILS and DI, DI stands for discovery interface and ILS stands for integrated library system. So, how ILS and DI can interact with each other, and different kind of new generation services what a virtual union catalog may provide in a typical network of library. So, as I said that union catalog is an age old concept related to library in the domain of library services. The classical view of union catalog is that you can see in the top a list of the combined holdings of several libraries. Then the modern view, the present age view is that a union catalog is union files of the stock of several libraries merged into a central database through a single point access interface. So, no agencies in this world are using an ILS to generate a union catalog. Union catalogs are definitely a single point search interface which are mainly managed through discovery interfaces. But if you have a look in the futuristic view of union catalog, there you can see okay, the single point access interface is a welcome move, but that single point access interface must provide different kind of other integration like journal database, full text search, along with different kind of opaque functionalities, real time item level status, then ILS based authentication, then different kind of other opaque functionalities that people can perform inside library opaque, they should perform inside union catalog by utilizing their own credentials in a given library management system. So here different library management software can be integrated with different kind of drivers. So that we are going to be going to discuss in this particular deliberation, because it's a very emerging area of library automation, how different a group of libraries can be managed through Union Catalog. But before that, this particular deliberation deals with the development of a Union Catalog for academic libraries of India. Now, if you can see that higher education of India at a glance, it's quite a big system, one of the largest in the world. We have around 1000 universities, 40,000 colleges, 10,000 plus standalone institutions, 394, that means 1/3 of the universities are located in rural areas, 16 universities are exclusively for women. We are having different kind of dual mode universities, like universities that provide both regular education as well as distance education. And as you can see, it's a completely heterogeneous in nature. So when we talk about library automation, that is also heterogeneous in nature. So there are different libraries, they are using different integrated library integrated library system or library management systems. But Union Catalogs we are having a few only, are far from the modern views of Union Catalog. So Union Catalogs of India, the existing Union Catalogs are not quite compatible with the modern view of a Union Catalog. If we come to the ILSS used in India, as you know in our earlier deliberation, that ILSS can be categorized in India into matrix. On the one hand, we have ILSS of foreign origin as category, ILSS of foreign origin but truncated in India as second category, and third category is ILSS of pure Indian origin. Now, in again academic library or a library can be a large library, a medium range library or a small library. So number of resources are here, and you can see that 50 plus library automation softwares are in use in different academic libraries of India. But one particular interesting fact is that for the last 4 or 5 years, two prominent library management software are coming up. One is Koha, open source, right from version 16.x to 20.x, and Sol 2.x, that is the version 2.0. These are two mostly used ILSs in Indian higher educational institution. But the question is that if we want to develop a virtual Union Catalog according to the modern definition of a virtual Union Catalog, then is it possible to develop a framework where your ILS will be working at the back end, and as I said that there are a number of ILSs and discovery system in the front. How and to what extent is it feasible to fuse opaque functionalities, like as I said, real time item level availability status, hold placement, hold preference setting, ILS based authentication and so on in a Union Catalog framework, so that your user don't have to roam around the his or her own library opaque and the Union Catalog. So for Union Catalog should also support different kind of opaque functionalities. Let us start this deliberation with a backdrop that till date most of the national level as well as global level Union Catalogs support only the finding function of a catalog, neglecting the other opaque functionalities such as real time item level availability, hold placement, renewing, article request, use of ILSS credential for authentication that we technically call SSO, single sign on, extended search features like full text search, faceted navigation, etc. FRBRI is displaying or grouping of resources. Now let us start with the most comprehensive Union Catalog of India. You all know, developed by INFLIPNET under UGC and called as INTCAT. In the line of WorldCat, it is called Indian Catalog, INTCAT. So here you can see a particular document, you can search, you can display, it can tell you that who are the holding universities like University of Delhi and Guru Nanak Dev University. Accession number of the respective book are given, class number is given, you can generate ILL request, but effective deduplication has been done. That means two resources are there, two resources are merged together, and this is called deduplication, merging of resources, same manifestation coming from different participating libraries. So deduplication has been done quite effectively. ILL, interlibrary loan request form, it can generate. Search refinements are available. So these are the positive sign of INTCAT. But if we go into a deeper dive, you can see that it provides no real-time item level status. I simply do not know this particular copy is available in University of Delhi, but whether a given copy is available for circulation or not. If I go there, will I get the document? That kind of real-time item available status is not there. No opaque functionalities. That means I cannot use my credential of my own institution to enter inside the Union Catalog. No faceted navigation, only search refinements are there. No FRBRI's displays, many editions, many versions are not grouped together, and as I said, no ILS based authentication. If we explore another one, another big one, that is CSIR Knowledge Gate. CSIR, Council of Scientific and Industrial Research. It has got around 42 national laboratories. All laboratories are using Koha as their ILS. Individual OPAC is available. You can go this noget.niscad.res.in. There you can find it. But the search interface is not quite at par, not as per the definition of a Union Catalog. There I can search, it can give me only the title and author and the holding library. No real-time item level status is available, and display format is also too brief. So in no way it is matching with any definitions of Union Catalog. Now if we see the situation in other countries first, then let us start with UK. The entire UK has got their Union Catalog. Earlier it was known as COPAC. Now it is called Library Hub Discover. So there I have searched a particular document by title metadata management. It can show me that how many documents are there, and here in case of first document you can see 27 libraries are holding this particular book. But again, if I click in here, it cannot show me the availability. So here also no real-time item level status, no opaque functionalities, deduplication is very effective, and no FRBRization. For example, if I click this particular document here and a particular library, say British Library, so it can give me location of that particular document with the self mark, but here you can see live circulation data is not available. So this is related to Library Hub Discover, the biggest Union Catalog of United Kingdom. Now another big digital library of our time, Trove, it is supported at the back end by Libraries Australia. It is actually working as a national showcase for all resources of Australia. Here I search by the same document, managing metadata in WebScale. Here interesting thing, you can see that deduplication is effective. These particular documents are available in 6 different libraries. The FRBRization is marvelous. So this particular document has got 4 editions, and all four editions are grouped together under the work of managing metadata in WebScale discovery system. So deduplication is effective, FRBRization is quite marvelous, but no real-time status. If I want to know the real-time status of this book from National Library of Australia, I can click here, I will go to the respective OPAC, and from there I can know the real-time item level availability status. No ILS based authentication is there. I cannot utilize my login and password of my library system here to enter Trove. Now at the global level, the biggest system is WorldCat. As you all know, this is one of the largest bibliographic data set in the world. So here you can see the same book I have searched, managing metadata in WebScale discovery system. Now what it shows? So no FRBRization has been conducted so far in Union Catalog of WorldCat. Although OCLC is doing marvelous work of FRBR based experimentation like with the project like OCLC Vixen Finder etc., but they have not yet implemented FRBRization in WorldCat. Now suppose if I select any of these ones, say the first one, so it can give me these are the 6 libraries having this particular copy. So effective deduplication has been done, but here you can see that no real time status. If I want to know real time status, I need to click here to go to the respective OPAC to find the item level status of this particular document. So facts in a nutshell: no union catalog, national or global, is using ILS to design union catalog. Union catalogs are using most of the cases discovery interface as single point search entry. Union catalogs are mostly depending on the process of harvesting to gather metadata of books at the manifestation level in a central index inside a discovery system. Most of these services implemented deduplication very effectively right from IntCat to WorldCat, gathering, that means gathering all items of the same manifestation in one place from different libraries. A few of these services like Trove have successfully implemented FRBRized display, gathering all manifestation of the same work in the display. But almost all of these union catalog services, which is a emerging area of library automation, failed to implement minimum OPAC functionalities like, as I said, real time item level availability, hold placement, hold paper setting, logging with respective library credentials and so on. But why this is happening? The reason is very simple, that their respective ILSs or participating libraries do not talk to the front end discovery interface. So these two different softwares cannot talk to each other to provide data sets to the discovery interfaces. But hold on, there are some exceptions, a few exceptions are there positively. One such exception is OhioLink. OhioLink has got 2 versions of their union catalog. It's a sophisticated union catalog of Ohio State. 24 participating libraries are there. Now here you can see, if I search by the same book, managing metadata in web scale discovery, here all the copies will be there. So no deduplication is available, no FRBRization is available, but interestingly it can produce real time item level status in detail page from the respective OPAC. So suppose if I click the first one, so here you can see that I have manifestation level details are there alongside the copy details or the item level status in which of the 2 libraries these books are available, and the real time status, both are available for circulation. So why this is happening in compare with the other OPAC that I demonstrated before you? Because they are utilizing an advanced level standard, library automation standard, that is called ILSDI, Integrated Library System hyphen discovery interfaces. This particular system developed by DLF, Digital Library Federation, and they are using Opal ILS. Opal ILS is a commercial library automation software available in US. Now if we go to their modern version of OhioLink, there you can see that effective deduplication has been done. If I search by the same document, it can tell me that there are 2 OhioLink libraries on this item. Click here to check availability. If I click here, it will give me the details of this manifestation alongside the item level status in these 2 libraries, both are available. So what they are using? They are using a very modern protocol that is called RESTful APIs. They are using Sierra ILS at the back end and ENCODE discovery interface in the front end. It can generate real time item level status, but no other OPAC functionalities. I can request the document, but I cannot utilize my login and password to enter inside the union catalog. Now the last one what I am showing you, that is basically a As a model we can utilize in India finna.fi. This is the National Library Service of Finland. Here you can see I searched a particular document information services today. So right from here it can merge or effectively deduplicate this particular resource coming from different other libraries. Right from here I can select library and I can check the availability. I can log in by using my ILS credential to place a hold. So deduplication has been done effectively, FRBRization has been done effectively, and real time status in the discovery interface it can generate. Now, if I go, if I select any of this particular library, you see the drop down list number of libraries holding this particular book will be coming. Any of this library, say the last one I can select, the moment I select it, it can tell me that one copy of this particular book is available from this library. It is generating status in real time. If I am a member of that particular library or member of finna.fi, I can click login to place hold. So from the drop down list I can select from which library I am a user. So I can select, I can give my login and password, and I can do different kind of OPAC functionalities like fines calculation, library card details, profile updation, save search, creation of list of favorite items, checkout items, hold and recall. All I can check by giving my respective library OPAC credentials. So this is the system. Basic OPAC functionalities are assured there, and this finna.fi are utilizing completely open source framework. At the back end they are using Koha, and in the front end they are utilizing Viewfind as a discovery interface. Before entering into the details of the mechanism in which way it can be done, again let us have a brief summary. That most of the union catalogs are basically discovery services by definition, except a few. Many of these services are supporting only two objectives of a catalog: to find and to select, but not to locate. Viewfind may take care of all these OPAC functionalities, as it is evident from finna.fi as DI of a union catalog if configured in a multi backend driver environment, because in a union catalog you need to deal with the multiple instances of the same ILS or multiple version of integrated library system. So Viewfind can do both of that. So how connectivity between the ILS and DI is happening inside the Viewfind? We can categorize all these connectivity approaches into three generations. The generation one is the very first generation, is the database call, where real time item level status can be shown in DI through database level authentication. So we need to provide database level authentication. That means the backend MariaDB or MySQL database user and its password, that is slightly dangerous in nature. So generation 2 deals with the ILS DI protocol based interaction between the discovery interface and ILS, but there also we need to share database level authentication with the union catalog agency. But the generation 3 or the most advanced generation is REST based connectivity. It can support all OPAC functionalities, real time item level status through OAuth2 based authentication. That means we do not have to share very risky database login and password with the union cataloging agencies. Like many other deliberation in this particular series of library automation course, we have always tried to show you a live demonstration against a particular concept. So again here I am also going to do that by utilizing ILS as Koha version 20.055, DI as Viewfind, the latest stable release, inside a multi backend driver where many instances of Koha can be handled by Viewfind. Each instance will be representing a separate library. Data gathering can happen through OAI PMH. We do not have to import export typically of the marked data. So system can automatically fetch data from the backend Koha instances. We tested with 6 universities libraries from 1,000 mark XML bibliographic records from each, so around 6,000 records we have utilized to design this particular prototype. and RESTful API based connectivity we have utilized there. We actually tested all three generations, generation 1, 2 and 3, and we found that the generation 3, that is the REST based interaction between Koha and ViewFind, is the safest one and the most functional one. But before going into the demonstration mode to show you that exactly what is happening, we need to know what is ILSDI and how ILSDI is different from OAI-PMH, and how REST is different from ILSDI, so that we can take a decision. So, ILSDI developed by, as I said already, that Digital Library Federation way back in 2008. So, first statement you can see the objective of this particular protocol is that mix and match ILS and discovery platform to suit local needs, and to specify technical details of how discovery and ILS systems are to integrate with each other. So, the result of this initiative is basically called the Berkeley Accord, published in 2008. All big library automation companies like Talis, Exlibris, LibLime, both from commercial domain and open source domain, like LibLime is from open source domain, joined together, and they agreed on the basis of harvesting, that each ILS must support harvesting, OAI-PMH version 2.0 based. It should support real time availability of item, and it should support linking of different kind of OPAC functionalities. So, these three factors have been or had been prioritized in this in the Berkeley Accord. So, ILS standard developed in this way: the version 1.0 developed in June 2008 and version 1.1 developed in December 2008. ILSDI actually provides us 25 functions under the 4 groups of operation. These groups are called data aggregation group, real time search group, pattern functionality group, and OPAC embedding group. So, each group includes many functions, and altogether there are 25 functions under the 4 basic groups. Now, as we said that the REST is the latest protocol where ILS and DI can talk with each other. You already know different kind of REST API based development in different other sectors apart from the library automation, but the library automation sector is now also utilizing REST API as a protocol. The latest version of Koha is REST compatible, that one particular plugin has already been developed by National Library of Finland in the open source domain. Anyone can utilize it. Koha now supports 56 plus REST endpoints as on September 25th, and it is still in version 1, still under development. More and more REST endpoints will emerge, and more OPAC functionalities will be ensured at the discovery end. So, this is the web address where you can see how many REST endpoints are there. Every day it is increasing. Koha community also developed a test bed where a new REST endpoints can be tested, can be authenticated, can be moved forward in the main REST endpoints schedule or listing. Now, the question is that how OAI-PMH, ILSDI and REST differ from each other. So, OAI-PMH, as you know, it is a protocol for metadata harvesting. It can give you data in unqualified Dublin core only at the manifestation level. That means, here you can see if I call for OAI-DC, it can give me the book data, but not the item level data. How many copies are available against this particular book, OAI-PMH cannot give you. But you can call metadata prefix as OAI underscore DC, that is OAI DC format, Dublin core metadata format, unqualified, and also I can call metadata prefix is equal to mark XML. Mark XML is much more comprehensive in comparison with OAI DC, but here also you can see it can provide you in tag 942 the item level data, how many items are available, but not the real time item level status, whether this particular item available for circulation or not. So, mark XML best format through OAIP image harvesting can give you both manifestation and item level data. That means all 9xx local field, but not the item related information. So, what ILSDI can do additionally? So, ILSDI additionally, Koha now supports all 4 groups of ILSDI, but not all the functions. Some of the functions they left for OAIP image, and some of the functions they have developed which discovery interface can utilize. So, let us have a example here. Say for example, as I said that it can produce the real time item level status through a get availability function. So, here you can see I call the Koha ILSDI URL, then service is equal to get availability, B by ID is equal to 1, that means the ID of the manifestation is 1, and plus 2, that means I need information related with the 2 copies associated with this B by ID. Now, here it can generate information in XML format. Here you can see bibliographic ID is equal to 1, under it item ID is equal to 1, that is the first copy of the library, and it can tell you the whether it is available or issued, in which library it is available. Similarly, in the next instance you can see the same BYD, that means the same document or same book, but this time it is copy number 2, whether copy number 2 is available or not, and from which library this particular copy is available. So, ILSDI can provide you real time item level status against RESTful query through different kind of service points like get availability, get patron information, and so on. So, in the next example you can see similarly I can get information related to a patron through get patron info service. Here I have given patron ID is equal to 2 and show contact is equal to 0, that means I do not need address, but show loans is equal to 1, that means how many books issued by this particular patron I want to know. So, in this way I can make a query in web browser and it can generate XML based response, and here you can see it can give that against this particular user, this is the card number, this is the branch code in which the patron is a member, this is the library name, user name, date of expiry of membership, and all kind of this. Then number of loans, as there is no loans it has not given, so loan is blank. So, in this way I can have this kind of queries, query setting, and that DI can utilize to interact with the backend instance of ILS. Now, what REST API can do additionally in compare with ILSDI? So, as I said, more and more endpoints can be generated. ILSDI is having a fixed 25 parameters or 25 functions, but REST API can go beyond that 25. In fact, already Koha crossed 56 plus. It can return data in JSON format, JavaScript object note, much more comprehensive in compare with XML. It can be more dynamic, lot many REST endpoints can be generated dynamically, and conditions can be added, but that means in case at the time of search I can add conditions. Let me give you one particular example. So, here you can see I can call my Koha REST API version 1, then patrons where city is equal to a given place name, that is city is equal to Kolani. So, it can respond that there are 4 patrons in this particular library with the address field city is equal to Kolani. So, any of these I can select, say number 4, and if I select number 4 it can give details of the this particular user with the city Kolani. So, in this way we can add different kind of conditions, and it is much more realistic in nature, and DI can interact much more easily with the backend instance of ILS. So, this is the model we can follow. At the ILS layer we can have our own ILS. For example, here we have utilized Koha. We need to enable OAIP image, we need to enable ILSDI, we need to enable REST API, because we are going to check all 3 generations of connectivity. Otherwise, if you selected that I need only REST API, you can enable only REST API there. So after enabling REST API, you need to create a user with minimum permission as prescribed and generate the client ID and secret ID. In the middle layer for ILS DI, you don't have to do anything, but if you are using or provoking a REST API based connection, you need a middle layer, that is Koha REST plugin developed by National Library of Finland, and version 0.8.6 is now in the stable latest stable release. At the discovery interface, we need to use OIP image for harvesting. We need to use indexing through Apache Solr, and different kind of driver we can select. If we have multiple number of libraries, so we need to use a multi backend driver to connect many libraries at any given point of time. So this is the creation of REST API user in Koha. So I first enabled REST API, created a user with this minimum functionalities, and it can generate the client ID and secret ID, and it can I can check whether I can log inside the ILS with this particular login and password or not, and what kind of privileges I have given. So all this I have given in 3 snapshots, 1, 2 and 3. Now after this REST API creation is over, at the discovery end we have to create for each libraries, each participating libraries, we need to create a respective properties file, that how we want to index those resources with a specific prefix, like for library 1 Koha ILS 1, for library 2 Koha ILS 2, and so on. And we can finally index inside different Koha instances inside the ViewFind database. So after indexing is over, now you see one particular document having ID 2 will be represented in case of library 1 Koha ILS 1.2, in case of library 2 Koha ILS 2.2, and real time it can generate status from library 1 as well as from library 2. In this way, indexing should be conducted in a multi backend driver, because you are now dealing with many ILSs and integrating them, all of them, inside your Union Catalog. So this is the structure for multi backend driver. So we have 6 instances, 6 university libraries, 3 drivers we are utilizing to compare which one is the best. Koha driver, that is the generation 1, Koha ILS DI driver generation 2, and Koha REST driver generation 3. So all are working in the multi backend driver environment, and on the other hand we have ViewFind. So at each of the cases, you can see here in the discovery interface, it connects to the multi backend driver. Multi backend driver, on the basis of the prefix of the index resource, can connect to respective driver, for example Koha ILS DI driver 1 and Koha instance 1. So in this way we can connect a multi backend driver with number of individual driver related to different instances of the same ILS, or different ILSs for managing different libraries. Now you can see the result after this is happen. Just I can, like finna.api you have seen. So now I can give, we experimented with 6 university libraries in West Bengal. So I can enter with my Kollam University login, or Bardhaman University login, or Vidyasagar University login. Respective users can log on inside the Union Catalog. User can access discovery interface by using the respective ILS login. And inside the system, when they log on, this is the REST based login. It can give them different OPAC functionalities, checked out item, holds and recalls, storage and retrieval request, find calculation, profile update, and so on. And this is the ILS DI based login. So you can see Koha REST based interface or protocol is much more beneficial. Lot many new services it may include. Here you see a real time search or real life search, how it provides a particular search. Can see record number 2 available from library 3, next record is available from library 2, next record is available from library 1. So in one instance we can search a particular discovery interface, all resources will be coming, and at the same time it can tell me in which library it is available and whether it is available, the copy is really available in that particular library or not. So this kind of modern view of Union Catalog can be achieved through this open. So as in conclusion, we can say that Koha REST API, that is the third generation connectivity, is much more sophisticated, and it's a revolutionary improvement over the database call, the generation 1, and ILS-DI based call generation 2. It can do many OPAC functionalities with compare with generation 1 and generation 2, including password spread login, profile update, password change, everything. So in conclusion, we can say that Koha REST is much more secured. Koha REST does not require additional configuration in MySQL or MariaDB when Koha instances are in different machines, whereas Koha ILS-DI and Koha drivers need this additional work. Koha REST is independent of the structural changes in Koha side, whereas Koha ILS-DI and Koha drivers need adjustment with the changes in Koha side. So REST endpoints at Koha side will be growing with the time, unlike the fixed 25 parameters in ILS-DI. So all are actually pointing towards the REST based ILS authentication system in a Union Catalog. So where Union Catalog will be using a discovery interface, and the backend ILSs will be REST compatible, and the interaction between discovery interface and the respective ILSs will be taking place on the top of RESTful interaction. So as I said you that like all other deliberation related to library automation, in this deliberation also we will be trying to show you something in live mode, so that you can have an idea what is going on in the domain of library automation. So this time we are going to show you 6 different university libraries can be interacted in real time in a multi backend driver to support virtual Union Catalog. So let's go for the real time demonstration process. So here you can see, if we increase the slides slightly, so 6 universities I can click here and go individually for their different resources, different collections, but rather let me try to have a search here. So I am searching suppose by web. It's a very generic one. See, if I click search, so it will generate different resources from different libraries. Okay, I have not started my Solr, so before utilizing Viewfind, I need to start my Solr first. It's as I said, Apache Solr, it is the backend system, backend retrieval engine. So this is the way to start Solr. I am calling the batch file and starting my Solr. So if everything is going well, my Solr will be starting in the default port 8983, and it will report me that it started in a smooth way. So wait a few seconds. So now you see started Solr server at port 8983. Now let me try searching something. So now I am searching suppose web. It is trying to fetch resource data from different participating libraries. This is called auto suggestion. Now if I click web, you see here how many documents will be coming from different libraries, different participating libraries. You just imagine it's a Union Catalog. So you see these are the resources. It is trying to load item level status from all the participating libraries. So these are the all resources coming from different libraries, and it is trying to load the item level status in real time from different participating libraries like Bardhaman University Library, and many other. So, first time it may take little bit of time because I just started my Solr. So, these are the resources from different library it is coming. Any one of these I can select. Any one of these I can select. I can have real time data, I can log on inside the system, and I can perform many other OPAC functionalities there in this way. So, let it come and let it try to show you in the same interface some other things. So, it reports that from Bardhaman University 4 books are there related to web, Kollam University 4, Vidyasagar 2 and Jadavpur University 1. So, it can load, it is still loading. So, in this way I think now you got an idea that how different libraries can be integrated in the same place to combine to develop a virtual union catalog where real time item level status, OPAC based ILS based authentication to check different kind of OPAC functionalities are possible. So, thank you very much.